All good? Okay, we are here on January 13th, 2025 for a special meeting of the Lake County Board of County Commissioners.
Ooh. Wow. I swear.
I think we're good. Oops, sorry. I've one of the old minutes I was reviewing up, and I was like, that is not the agenda for today. What's going on? Sorry about that. We have one regular agenda item. We're good to go on that, I assume, and then the consent agenda, so we can launch right in, to discussion and consideration of the Lake County, well, sorry, just assuming that's good with fellow commissioners. Move in, discussion consideration of the Lake County 2023 audited financial statements. Have Tim and Candace listed here. I don't know if who wants to start?
Do you want to have Dimitri start?
I'm not sure, this is my first time doing this.
Dimitri, how about if you could introduce yourself, talk through our process, and if you want to share the screen with the commissioners for anything, that's fine, just let us know and just walk through, and then Candace and I can help answer any questions the board has.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm having a little, there it goes. As far as, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're good.
Would you prefer to have something on the screen?
Probably
Sure.
be helpful.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna share it then.
Should work now.
All right. Okay. You see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Anyway, good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for having me present to this afternoon. It's been a bit of a journey to get your audit done this year, but as you can tell, we got it done, and it looks, it's completed. So I'll just quickly go over kind of what our procedures are and what we do, and kind of what the things that we had, and then we'll talk about the conclusion of the audit, and we'll talk about the results of the audit and conclusion of the audit as we go. So the main thing is what we do is we issue the independent auditors reports, and that's our number, kind of what we are known for, what auditors are known for, is this report right here. This is related specifically to financial statements, and so we opine on your financial statements after we've performed audits. And so right here in these bullets over here, it kind of talks about what we do, and I literally go over them. I try not to have too much audit talk, to be honest with you, because I just don't, I definitely don't want to bore everybody with all the audit speak and all that, and kind of explain things in more layman's terms. So that being said, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit, which means, we are independent auditors. We are not, influenced by management in any shape or form. But what we do is perform the audit on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners. And so we look at things that are very objectively. The next thing you'll see here is that we identify and assess risk of material misstatement. So misstatement are errors, right? Errors of different kinds that can occur in a financial statement. It's what happens is sometimes we have to assess the risk based on discussions with management. We sort of perform a walkthrough of all the procedures, financial procedures, the key ones anyway, like payroll, accounts payable, receivable, things that money in, money out, that we look at in different areas to identify where there is risk. And so we've performed that over the course of the past year to identify what areas do we need to focus on the most. Obviously, we don't audit everything. No auditor audits everything 100%. We have a threshold that we look at in terms of dollars, and we also look at risk, which is our kind of our qualitative factor that we apply to the audits. And so we identified risks that we felt we need to focus on the most, and performed our audit, kind of catered our audit procedures according to that risk, and also try to make sure we look at everything over a certain threshold to make sure it's free of material misstatement. The other thing is we obtain understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design the audit procedure. So kind of like I said, we perform the walkthrough with management and what procedures they have and internal controls that the county has, and try to identify if there's any issues or anything that we find where we see risk or we see potential for error or fraud. And then what happens there, then whatever the management tells us, we go ahead and test it to make sure that it's actually, that the management does what they say they do. And that's part of our process. And then the other part of it is we evaluate certain accounting policies and reasonableness of significant accounting estimates. Every entity has estimates that not everything is an actual number that relates to some sort of invoice or some sort of deposit or cash or anything. Sometimes you have to put down estimates in the financial statements based on GASB standards. So, and one of the key things is we audit everything based on government and generally accepted auditing standards, and we follow GASB, which is the generally accepted. It's a government accounting standards board that issues pronouncements that guides us on how we should audit financial statements and how they should be presented to you as the commission, as the decision makers, and the public. So that being said, this is kind of the gist of what we do, and lastly, I'll talk about basically you do have an unmodified opinion, which is considered a clean opinion of the financial statements. But not only did we audit the financial statements themselves, because the county receives a significant number of federal awards and expends more than $750,000 in federal awards, we are required to perform what's called a single audit, which is a compliance audit of federal programs, and test those controls related to that compliance. And if I scroll all the way down, I'm not going to go over these audit opinions with you in great detail unless you have questions for me. But basically, the requirement is that we perform not only perform the compliance audit, we evaluate whether internal controls over that compliance that's maintained by management is adequate. And so both those opinions came back clean, and which means unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion. However, during the audit, I kind of mentioned we evaluate controls. We've identified a significant number of misstatements that were in the financial statements, and also delayed our audit quite a bit because the county records were not up to date. And so we were only able to kind of fully jump into the audit over the last, 3 to 4 weeks or so, and really dive into things because we knew that everything was more or less reconciled. And so some of our findings that you'll see in this audit report, we audited 2 programs. We audited for compliance. We audited the ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan, also known as the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds. And we also audited the Airport Improvement Program that was spent in 2023. That being said, we had a few findings. One of the biggest findings was the material weakness and internal controls related to financial reporting. And what that means is that we had significant corrections. We found significant misstatements that we had to correct, that we had to adjust from the original time that we received the county's books. for auditing. So once we get the accounting records to audit, we are assuming that they're completed and they're done, and we are ready. We can jump into them and really just test everything. And our job is not to obviously perform the accounting function. Our job is to audit the accounting function. So we found that there was a significant number of corrections that we had to make. Now, I will tell you that it's not something extremely unusual. We've run into those situations multiple times in our profession where we run into where there's turnover in staff, which sounds like what the county had, and there's different things that are being implemented as we are starting the audit. And so controls maybe have not been fully implemented for 2023 as they maybe are in 2024. And so when I'm describing this, I would encourage you to look at it from the myopic view of 1 year. We're auditing 2023, not 2024. We're looking at 1 year and what happened in that year. And so that being said, there were significant adjustments. In addition, we found misstatements that related back to 2022 that related to numbers that we couldn't really justify, nor could we find any sort of or justification for why they were recorded, either as a receivable. And what we call that is a restatement. And so we had to fix that and correct the accounting records, not only for this year, but whatever we identified was an error in the previous year. We corrected that as well, and that's called a restatement. So anytime you have significant adjustments or restatements or corrections of the previous year, then something's wrong with the accounting record, something's wrong with the controls in place relating to financial reporting, which is what this report, it really is the financial audit report. And that being said, we identified that and wrote up a finding. And, it sounds like, again, we're looking at 23. A lot's happened since 23. So, I think the county's on its way to improving those processes and keeping and hiring the right amount of staff to manage these accounting records moving forward. There's two more findings. The other one is related to federal awards. I will say that in specific, the compliance finding was that, we planned our single audit, our compliance audit, based on a certain numbers that were provided to us. I believe by Ide Bailey or maybe the previous, finance director. And so we based our compliance requirements based on that. And as we finally dove into the accounting records, we found that there's other federal awards that were not listed in that report. And so it kind of threw our planning off a little bit. And luckily we didn't dive into, we were going to test Medicaid as one of our programs. Luckily, we didn't dive into that really fast. Luckily it took a little while to get some of the information, and we realized that, we don't have to test that program. We can test, a different program that's actually higher risk because we found out more information about the ARPA money or federal award, the federal grants. So that's what that finding's about. And so we encourage management to kind of evaluate grants and make sure they keep track of what grants there are at the county. And so that way, when we get to the audit for, say, 2024, we're able to properly evaluate which programs we're going to test and make sure that we have a complete listing of all the federal awards. And then lastly, one of the programs we tested was the American Rescue Plan Act. Also, like I mentioned before, like the coronavirus, it's called the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds. When we tested that, the program, we identified that there were the reporting requirement was not fulfilled completely. There was several reports that were not filed on time based on the federal award. And so that automatically triggers a compliance finding. And so I believe I've talked to Tim about it several times already, and I think he has a great plan of making sure that you're in compliance moving forward. It sounds like it was performed by someone else at the county, and I think Tim seems like he has a pretty good handle on it moving forward, which again, usually it doesn't incur any sort of penalty, but you never know with federal government and what they could do when they see a finding related to, reporting, or that you might get a letter from them, you might not. The consequences are unknown to me, to be honest with you. And so that being said, that is our kind of the results of the audit. There's a governance communications letter that is also provided to you, and that has a few maybe some less important suggestions, maybe less as involved suggestions, um, um, like relating to make sure that the bank accounts are recorded in the accounting records. It seems that there may be several bank accounts that are open at different maybe elected officials or different offices that may not be accounted for in the accounting system or at the treasurer's office. We encourage you to try to keep those in one place, so there's some sort of accountability and internal controls related to those. With that, I will stand for any questions.
Dimitri, I have a question. The accounts that are outside of what we have recorded or listed in our treasurer's office, which elected offices are those under?
I believe there was maybe, say clerk and recorder was one of them. I had to ask them and they did give me the bank statements. It's just not in the accounting system. And maybe there was one with the treasurer that wasn't in their accounting system, and maybe that's on purpose. We just want to make sure that, they're being accounted for somehow.
Yeah.
So
No, that makes sense. Thank you. Think of a smart question,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Could see that gear turning.
I mean, all of that that doesn't really surprise me with the turnover we had and some of the other challenges and every time we go to close out something big like the ARPA funds, that's kind of sweeping up loose ends. So I'm glad that we've got it all organized now, it sounds like. Thank you. We're close to it.
Week 5, we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, I think the key for me, like I'm recalling like other times I've reviewed audits, is that there is agreement between the auditor and staff that there's a plan, and there's no disagreement on what the plan was to sort of reconcile and fix things going forward. So.
Any comments from you guys?
I think as you review it, in 2024, a lot of the findings we have already worked a lot on correcting, so like adopting the grants policy, reorganizing the finance team, hiring folks with those skills and talent to do that. So going forward, will be much better, and also, working with Dimitri has been great, in finding these things and providing suggestions to fix them, but we're trending on the right path.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to come in to do the 23 audit and like I said, it's week 5. But to just see the leaps and bounds that already processes have made in just the 2024 calendar year. There's still a lot of work to do. A lot of the grants issues that we've seen are just a matter of people applying for grants and then, finance doesn't have any of those documents or know that it's happened. And I think with our grant policy, which we're gonna continue to develop and refine as we figure out the best way for it to work for us and for other staff, is that we recognize where our weak points were, and coming in and having to finish an audit in the first few weeks after Christmas has actually been great to help me understand what we need to do going forward to really get our grants ducks in a row, because that's really where we found the hardest struggle is our historical grants that, people don't even work here anymore that might have known where the documents live. And just our accounting system upgrade, we can let the documents live within that accounting system. So I think moving forward, I know that we're gonna get better. And we already have, like it's night and day what you're seeing in 23 audit versus what's actually happening now in our offices in 24.
Thank you.
That's good for me.
Yeah.
Looking at it's a, desired outcome BOCC decision, is that just a vote to acknowledge or accept?
Yeah, to accept.
Accept, okay.
I will move to accept the Lee County 2023 audit. I guess conducted by, Cherniak TMC Auditing and Consulting LLC.
I'll second your motion.
Final comments or discussion?
No, for me.
No, thank you so much, Dimitri.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I may, I'd like to say a few words and just say, I really appreciate the staff that worked really hard on this. I mean, I will tell you, they've gone leaps and bounds to get us information and really, really in a short amount of time here to finish everything and get everything done. So I just want to thank Tim and Candace and Bryce and Will. I mean, they really busted their hump and get us information. So, your accounting records is only as good as your staff. And so, we really enjoyed working with them and look forward to next year's audit.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Call for a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great, so the audit is, for the 2023 audit, audited financial statements are accepted. And with that, we can
Yay.
turn to the consent agenda. Minutes, Cindy or Tim, do you wanna lead us off, or should we just go through the ones we've gotten to?
I only have comments on a couple of sets of them.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I have 4, but like just super minor comments, do you
Okay.
wanna go ahead?
Sure. The August 6th meeting, the community information updates, and it's just kind of super minor. It says Commissioner Fiedler, Mudge, Commissioner Edwards. I don't know if you wanna say Commissioner Mudge.
Okay.
You can also leave it. You can do nothing with it. It doesn't really matter too much. But the other thing on that one, agenda item 10, I think it says Timber Ranch, and I think was it Tabor? I think it was Tabor
Tabor
Ranch.
should be
But
Tabor
can you
Ranch.
please check with, well, Melissa might know. Melissa. Any,
Development project?
yeah,
It is there is a timber ranch.
It was
It's on
timber.
County Road 4 and Evergreen Drive.
was that file 2423? Okay, alright, so I
Tabor or
certainly,
timber, okay,
certainly could be wrong, but I just wanna make sure that that's
okay,
correct.
I have one also on the August 6th
okay,
regular meeting, on the agenda item number 1, like some of the other minutes, it was just an informational item, but there were some other minutes that just said that, like this was an informational item and no decisions were made.
okay,
So,
Just
cause
to
it just
acknowledge.
doesn't say anything
Okay.
about it, which is fine, cause we didn't take any action. But just to be consistent with others.
okay,
Again, yeah, that was agenda item 1,
okay.
so that was it, on the 6th.
And then the only one I wanted to, I think it was maybe the April 2nd,
April 2nd, oh yeah, never mind.
or no, April 29th, on just making sure the city solar motion says entertain a motion to consent to the assignment of lease for the document presented, which is to be clear, the assignment of the existing land lease to C4.
What agenda item is that, and I can go
That
back
is
and look
number
at it.
1.
1, okay. Alright, let me check, cause
Yeah,
wasn't there,
I had the same,
Okay. So just a question on that.
Okay.
What exactly that,
okay,
get some clarity on that. That's all I had.
maybe I was looking at the wrong thing, on the April 2nd regular meeting. The one I pulled up didn't have any content in it, like it was just the agenda items.
oh, okay, well, see, trying to be in a hurry. Let's see, the April 2nd, April 2nd. You're right. That's all I have to.
Okay,
Okay,
so we'll take that off, and then, the May 7th regular meeting, super minor typo on, agenda item 5.
what month?
Oh,
The 7th?
May 7th,
Okay,
in paragraph 5, there's, I think, the second sentence, this should be capitalized. Sorry.
Eagle eye.
If you say review.
okay.
That was it, those are the only things I caught.
Okay,
And then, so should we go through and compare which ones, or what,
I don't have any other comments on the other ones.
okay,
And did you remove some of those, cause they were approved?
there was one, and I don't remember, the one for February 13th, that one was already approved.
Okay.
And then there was some other ones that.
well, I reviewed it again, it's really good.
Oh, sorry. So the ones that just need signatures are like April 2nd, the 20th, January 23rd, March 5th, March 19th, and April 16th, but other than that, like May 7th, May 23rd, those are the ones that you guys just looked at now, that I sent you guys this morning.
Okay. And the other ones just need signatures, they've been approved?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, sorry, can we go through by date, just rather than, like, not just like say
Sure.
the other ones?
Sorry.
So, so the ones that were in those recent emails, like, so the regular meetings, I had May 7th and 21st
Uh-huh,
that I reviewed and are good,
Okay.
okay, so those are good?
yeah.
Okay,
But I didn't see, or I didn't get to June 4th and June 18th.
those ones aren't there.
Okay, great.
And then July
July
2nd,
2nd,
I have nothing, I don't know, cause there's no minutes, no nothing,
wait,
so I don't
then what
know
did
who was in there. Or what kind of meeting, there's actually two of them, a regular meeting at 9 and a special meeting at 2:30, and I don't know, cause there's no,
wait, I thought I saw,
I don't think we actually held that meeting, cause looking back on the calendar online, it's not there.
July 2nd?
Oh, 7/29, sorry.
Yeah, so say July 2nd, so next meeting.
and maybe Tracy has those, but I didn't find those at all.
That was weird.
I have in Tracy's email from Friday, there are July 2nd
Is there?
minutes for both
Okay.
regular and special.
Okay. So those are Tracy's, okay.
Yeah, show on my calendar. So I have July 2nd regular and July 2nd special marked as reviewed and okay.
And they are, okay, okay,
And again,
So
those
Neil
are,
forwarded those.
oh, yeah, sorry, you are not on that email.
okay, so July 2nd for both of them are good?
Yep, July 2nd regular and special.
Okay,
And then going back, and then back on the regulars, I didn't see one for July 16th,
no,
okay? I did get to August 6th, and that,
Okay, got
we
that.
talked about that.
changes for that one,
Um,
and then the others I have nothing,
okay, great, that,
and then
and then on the specials, I think we said February 13th is already approved.
Yes.
So we don't need to, and then I didn't see an April 23rd,
that was an executive session. But I didn't, when I looked at the YouTube, none of us from the clerk's office were in there, so I don't
oh,
know,
okay, that's the one you were talking about that we need,
yeah.
so, but we,
April 23rd.
Were you guys at a conference or something?
In April, not that I know
Special
of.
meeting, April 23rd was a special meeting.
So
For
you,
executive
So there's something should be in there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep looking.
Yeah, okay, but for today, we'll take that off the consent agenda. Then April 29th, we talked about, these are specials. May 23rd, I didn't see one.
May 23rd. That one's done and signed already.
Okay,
Let me make sure.
okay,
May 23rd, yes.
Okay.
And that one's been signed.
so I'll take that off.
May 31st?
May
May
31st.
31st, there's nothing. Anything
I,
back?
I think that was in that email that you didn't see, so I did
Okay.
review that from Tracy's email,
Okay,
and that was good.
that
Was
one's
it the
good.
31st or the 21st? Cause I see
May-
one. with the-
May 31st. 21st was a regular,
Oh, okay, okay,
and May 31st was a special, that
Yes.
looks good to me.
Okay,
okay.
And then same, there was June 3rd
I
special,
think I sent that one to you guys.
Yep. June 25th
I don't have
special,
anything for that one.
that was in Tracy's
That was on Tracy's also.
email, I reviewed
Okay.
that, and it was good.
That one's good.
And Sarah, if there are any you didn't get to and wanna wait,
No,
then that's,
great.
June 27th special,
I sent that one to you. I think.
yeah, so that is
That
good.
one's good, okay.
July 2nd special was in Tracy's,
That was, and you said those,
and
that was
that
good.
was good.
Okay,
July 30th is special,
I don't have anything for that one, I don't know. 'Cause I had a little check mark, but I didn't have any minutes, so I'm thinking Tracy still has that one.
wait, why do I have that marked?
Tracy
Where-
sent that on Friday also, which was, I would say that's good, it was intergovernmental agreement with the housing authority to conduct the election.
So that was July 30th,
Yes,
so that one's good,
yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I marked that as good. And then August 26th was also in Tracy's Friday email, and was
Okay.
good with me. And same with September 10th.
okay, good, so I had question marks on
Okay,
30th and 10th, okay.
and then I did not get to or see a September 24th,
No, I haven't seen that one either.
okay?
Mhm.
Or October 22nd.
For October 22nd, I am not even finding an agenda. I see that there was a work session, but I'm not seeing even an agenda for. And maybe,
Well, I was gonna say the October 22nd had two, the morning session was about tobacco and what AMP stands for, and then the afternoon was our one whiskey cooper.
so there's two of them for that day?
Well,
There was a
morning
work
one,
session.
yeah, work session in the morning, it's the retail, the county's asset management plan, that's what AMP was about. Work sessions,
Both of them are work sessions?
yes.
Oh, so I
Okay.
don't have to worry about that one,
Yeah,
okay,
I
cool.
think so.
Okay.
Okay,
On October 22nd, that's when I have work session
Okay,
notes.
okay.
okay, good.
I didn't see it on the.
So I think I can go through and I'll say it slowly and we can check, but I think for this consent agenda, we can approve regular meeting minutes for May 7th, May 21st, July 2nd, and August 6th,
Okay,
with some noted changes in there that we talked about before. And then for special meetings, April 29th, May 31st, June 3rd, June 25th, June 27th, July 2nd, July 30th, August 26th, and September 10th.
that's awesome,
That
yeah,
sound
cool,
good?
yeah,
So,
so there's just a couple of them, okay.
Thanks, Cindy. Thank you, Jen.
So with that list read out, look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second motion?
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye, that consent agenda with that list is approved. And with that. 4:07 PM, I will adjourn this special meeting on January 13th.